Hey guys, this is For Freedom 13 and I'm going to do a review on the Crosman nitro venom. And I guess we'll start from the back. It comes with a rubber stock butt pad, which is pretty nice. It has an all walnut wood stock, very solid. In fact, probably nicer than some real steel firearms that I've shot before. Trigger guard is plastic, so nothing special about that, but it gets the job done. You have your safety, your thumb safety up here. I'm sorry, your index finger safety, I guess you could say. Safety off, safety on. Can't pull the trigger, safety off. There you go. A lot of people complain about the trigger on this gun, the second stage trigger, that it's really hard to pull or that it's too long. I mean, yes and no. Yes, it is harder, but it's not anything you can't really get used to. After maybe 50, 100 shots, it really doesn't take that much. You know, just a little practice and you won't even notice it. But I guess on to the rest of the gun. It's made of this is all steel right here. Very nice steel, in fact. I think it's blued metal. It's kind of hard to tell. I suppose it is. If not, it's very nice polished metal, very well machined and very precise. Front here, this muzzle brake is made of some kind of synthetic, almost like a rubber type plastic. I guess that's part makes it easier for you when you cock the gun. I'm not sure. It doesn't serve a purpose other than, I guess, for looks, really. But onto the scope. A lot of people complain about this 3:9 by 32 scope from Centerpoint. And I think people are misunderstood because a lot of people judge this scope when you're into the breaking period of your gun. And although Crosman says that's about 100 shots, I think it's more like 200 to 300 shots. And I'll tell you why. The problem with this gun is not only the piston on the inside, you know, all the lubrication, and it's brand new, you know, just like a spring as well. You'll have the same thing, which, by the way, this is a nitro piston instead of a spring, so it's much quieter, much smoother, much well, nicer in every way, really, and of course will last a lot longer than a spring. But down to the point, the problem is right here, where the gun cocks back into place. There is a locking detent that is actually under here, and what that does is when you pull the barrel back into place, it's supposed to align the gun sort of for you. That needs to be lubricated along with the hinge, because if not, when you pull this back, even if you give it a nice solid, you know, thrust upwards and back into place, you might think it's aligned with the rest of the gun, but in fact the barrel is actually slightly crooked and pointing downward. I found this the hard way, because I noticed even during my Crosman 100 shot break-in period, I was still shooting way low, as if, and at first I thought maybe the bullet was a bullet drop, but even when I would shoot close, I was just 10 yards away pointing at something, and my pellets were hitting maybe 4 or 5 inches down, and 20 yards it was barely even hitting the big fat piece of plywood that I have out there that I use as for target practice. So with that being said, to fix that, you have to play around with this big fat hinge screw, loosen it, tighten it. Obviously, if it's too loose, you're now gonna have to have wobble left and right. Now you're gonna be inaccurate not only up and down, but left and right. Of course, too tight, and you're going to be inaccurate left and right. I'm sorry, up and down. My fault. But you know, you get in that right spot, you play around with it, and you'll be shooting 1.5 inch, 2 inch groups at 20, 25 yards. And with this scope, of course. There's nothing wrong with the scope. The scope is on point, and in fact, it's very clear, a lot nicer than a lot of my other scopes, which are blurry at 8 to 9 zoom in. Here, you put it all the way to 9, and you can still see not only the reticle, but anything in front, behind, far away, close, clear as day out. So really not much to complain about the scope, as is more with just the gun itself and having to break it in. Not only with your gun, you're going to want to buy some of this stuff, Crosman silicone chamber oil. You're going to want to cock your gun back and put it into a small little hole where the air comes out to shoot the pellet out. Put one drop, about maybe 300 or 400 shots, and you should be good. Other than that, in regular gun maintenance with the barrel, maybe use a little nitro solvent to clean out the barrel, which I do recommend doing right away because this barrel comes very, very dirty. Almost as if they've been shooting it, or I don't even know what they do with it. But, and I personally recommend these RWS Super Points. I'm getting 1-inch groups at 20 yards away consistently from a bench seated position. This is obviously with the artillery hold and whatnot, but even when I'm standing up, not using the artillery hold, I'll still be able to hit, you know, things maybe the size of this can with ease, 20-25 yards standing up. So very nice pellets, by the way. I mean, almost no defects, very pointed. This is punching through plywood, a 1/4-inch plywood at 20 yards away with ease. So very powerful pellets, very, very accurate. So all in all, this is a great gun. I'd highly recommend it. You can get this at Pyramid Air with free shipping for about 150, 160. Sometimes they sell for 200, but you can go to Amazon with Amazon Prime. You can get free shipping, and they're charging you 145. And I don't know if they have that this anymore, but they had some kind of $20 discount, so I was able to actually pay for this. Free shipping, and get this gun for only about $120 flat. So for under 28 bucks, it's definitely a great gun. And also one last thing, they do advertise 950 feet per second, but that's with the lighter alloy pellets. With these Super Points, and you know, any pellet weighing about 14.3, 14.5 grain, you're getting about 700, 800 maybe, somewhere within that range. But all in all, this is a great gun, absolutely great. I have no doubt whatsoever that this could take down a squirrel, rat, maybe even a raccoon at 25, 30, and you know what, maybe even 40, 50 yards away. And when it comes to hitting things, I mean, 22 is going to stop you, not you, but like it's going to stop animals pretty far away, because 22s tend to carry their energy a lot better because of the weight versus a .177. But yep, I mean, that's my review. If you guys have any questions, just please tell me, and rate and subscribe.